World War II, the deadliest conflict in human history. From the rise of dictators to the devastating battles across continents, this war changed the world in ways that continue to shape our lives today. This is the story of how a world plunged into darkness would rise again. In the years leading up to 1939, the world was recovering from the trauma of World War I. But in Germany, Italy, and Japan, new regimes were rising. Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, Benito Mussolini's Fascist Italy, and the militarist government in Japan were determined to expand their power and influence. On September 1, 1939, the war began. Germany, under Hitler's orders, invaded Poland using blitzkrieg tactics, fast-moving warfare with tanks, infantry, and air support. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany, and World War II had begun. Within weeks, Germany had swept through much of Europe. In 1940, France fell, and the Nazis controlled much of Western Europe. The world watched as Britain stood alone against the Axis powers. The Battle of Britain raged overhead as German Luftwaffe bombers tried to break the resolve of the British people. Meanwhile, in the east, Hitler's forces turned toward the Soviet Union. The invasion of the USSR in 1941, known as Operation Barbarossa, would become one of the bloodiest theaters of war. Soviet resistance was fierce, and the battle for cities like Stalingrad would become legendary. On December 7, 1941, Japan took a shocking step by attacking the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor. The United States, which had remained neutral, was thrust into the war, joining the Allies against the Axis powers. The war, now truly global, was reaching new heights. The Battle of Midway was a pivotal naval battle. The U.S. Navy, against the odds, dealt a significant blow to the Japanese fleet, turning the tide in the Pacific. The success of D-Day was due in large part to the bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who fought during those critical days. They faced formidable defenses, rough seas, and relentless enemy fire, yet they pressed forward, inch by bloody inch, across the sands of Normandy. Their courage paved the way for the liberation of occupied Europe. In the aftermath of liberation, the world was confronted with the harsh reality of the Holocaust. The concentration camps liberated by the Allied forces revealed the extent of the atrocities committed. Images of skeletal survivors, the remnants of gas chambers, and piles of belongings spoke volumes about the unimaginable suffering endured. With Hitler's demise and Germany's surrender, Europe began its arduous journey towards healing and reconciliation. The continent had been ravaged by years of conflict, with millions displaced and economies in ruins. But amid the devastation, there was hope. Hope for a future free from the shadow of tyranny, where nations could come together in pursuit of peace. With Japan's formal surrender aboard the U.S. Missouri on September 2, 1945, the world witnessed a significant turn of history. As the ink dried on the documents, the war that had engulfed nations across the globe had finally come to an end. As the dust settled, the world faced a new reality. The Iron Curtain descended across Europe, symbolizing the deep ideological divide between East and West. The city of Berlin stood at the heart of this divide, split into two spheres of influence, a tangible reminder of a world torn apart. Meanwhile, the establishment of the United Nations in 1945 marked a moment of hope, as nations came together to prevent another global conflict and promote peace. The peace that was hard-won would set the stage for a new era of rapid advancement and profound change. Nations established new diplomatic relationships. Alliances were remade, and people across the globe endeavored to heal the wounds left by war. While the memories of war cannot be forgotten, they have become a reminder of both humanity's capacity for destruction and resilience, learning from the past to forge a brighter future. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to honor the memory of those who fought and died in the conflict that shaped the course of history.